Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Makerspace Month. This week, we are going to be doing a presentation on making 2D designs with the Cricut machine. If you missed last week's, go ahead and check it out. It's 3D design and 3D printing. I figured today would be a good opportunity to kind of focus on the simpler version of that, which is just creating a 2D design in an SVG file and then sending it to the Cricut machine to have it cut out. My name is Anthony Hake. I'm the Director of IT over at Oak Hill Collaborative, and I help run Makerspace Night. So if you like this, come check out our Makerspace in person. It's open every Wednesday from 4 to 9, and just try to learn how to use some of these tools with your own two hands, as I found that that is always better than trying to glean some information from a video you saw online. But being that COVID is what it is and attendance has decreased as such, we try to make this content available to all audiences, virtually or in person. So without further ado, let's dig right in. So like I said, welcome back to Makerspace Month. We're doing a different Makerspace workshop every Wednesday for the month of July. Last week was 3D printing. This week is going to be 2D Cricut workshop with a little bit of 2D design. Next week, if you have any interest in the basics of flying a drone recreationally, we are going to have a short drone flight academy, which kind of goes through some of the legalities and regulations that you should know, even if you're just flying a drone for fun. And for the last Wednesday, on the 27th, we're going to be showing you how you can make your own music for free using software such as Amplify and Audacity. All of these workshops start at 5 p.m. and they are every Wednesday for the month of July. So please check them out. So let's get right into it. What is a Cricut machine? What would you use one for? A Cricut is a type of plotting machine. It is kind of like a computer assisted or a computer controlled cutting machine. It doesn't even always have to be cutting per se. You can even take the blade out and replace it with a marker or a pencil if you just want it to draw out your design. It can be used for a wide variety of materials such as vinyl, paper, wood, leather, much more. So, depending on the type of blade you use, is the type of materials that you can cut. And it's generally a good alternative to cutting things out by hand, as say you operate a small business or a side hustle where you sell stickers online and you have to get the like 10 to 20 to even 30 stickers out like every day. Cricut comes in handy because it kind of automates a lot of the printing process, the cutting process, and it's generally easier to work with. So when working with a Cricut machine, what do you need to actually get the design off the ground? Thankfully, Cricuts they generally come with their own design software. Uh, I think it's called the Cricut Design Space. And here you can either take a design that someone else made or you already made via a SVG file or a scalable vector graphic and just kind of import it right into the software. If you don't have a design already done up, or if you didn't buy a design from someone else, you can make a design using the templates and shapes that the design space already gives you. Now, do keep in mind that the Cricut machine is used for more than just stickers. It can help you make heat presses. It can help you make designs for your mugs, t-shirts, tote bags. It is a very expansive and actually simple to use machine. But today, we're just going to be focusing on making a 2D design that we can then turn into a sticker. So yeah, let's work on something together. I'm going to open up the design space so you can get a better idea of what to expect. So this is a free software. Once you plug in the Cricut machine and the computer recognizes it and installs the driver, this is what you're going to be looking at. You download this off of their website, and generally, the moment you plug in your Cricut machine, the software will be able to recognize, oh, he's using a Cricut Cut Smart 2 or a Cricut Cut Air 3. I don't know how many Cricut machines are out there, but Personally, we use the Cut Smart 2 here in the Makerspace. So you'll see here we have a standard menu. Pop that open and it allows you to manage your materials, update your firmware, calibrate the machine. Let's assume that we've already done all of our maintenance for the machine, as when you come in for Makerspace night, we will have already done the maintenance for you. So we can just get right into making something. You can also explore other designs that other people have made. Generally, these designs are going to cost you a little bit of money, anywhere from like 99 cents to $10. Not super expensive, and as you can see, they are very simple designs because the design space is meant to be simple. So I started a new project here, and you can kind of see we're in this grid space, and these indicators here represent inches. As if I were to drop a shape in here real quick, it would give you the dimensions of that shape in inches. And you can also kind of get an idea for how big something is going to be by lining it up here. And our Cricut machine, I think its limit is about 12 inches by 12 inches. So we don't want to make a super huge design. So I'm actually going to get rid of that by pressing delete. Pressing new here just creates a new project. We don't want to do that. We're already in one. Templates, you can kind of take a look at the types of things other people have made. These templates are made with certain things in mind. Like, for example, here, if you want to design some stickers for your guitar, this is the outline of a guitar, so it allows you to create those designs with this reference in mind. This isn't actually a guitar design, this is just kind of like an invisible outline. So let's see here. Let's try and get rid of the design. Let's just call it new. Now down here is going to be your bread and butter. This is basic shapes, and if you're looking to make your own design, this is what you're going to be using. Down here is if you subscribe to Cricut Access, they give you more intricate shapes to work with, and you can always search for more shapes to see what other people have made. Again, because someone else has made it, generally they charge for these shapes. Seems a little silly, I know, but I mean, if you want to save yourself the time and effort, it's going to come at a cost. So we're just going to go back to good old-fashioned shapes. We're going to make a star. Oops, sorry. You have to click it to add it to the workbench here. And once you have your design out, you're given a lot of different information about it. Material color, again, is just kind of give you a reference of what it's going to look like. That's not actually the color that the vinyl is going to be. In fact, we have really shiny vinyl to work with today. Operation, you can set it to draw, and that's what it would look like if you just put a pen or a pencil in the head. Let's see here. Voil, that just kind of provides a colored outline. Score, if you are working on a punch-out design, this is it would show you where the Cricut would kind of dig into the material. Let's see here. Guide. Yep, that just kind of shows you what it would look like. And those are all the operation designs. There's your deselect, there's your edit, which is just your basic copy, paste, cut, delete operations that you can use in just about any other software. Offset, this is a little tricky as you can actually control how much of the shape gets cut, either from the inside, or you can create some overhead on the outside. Maybe you don't want it to be cut like a perfect star, so you can use this to kind of change the distance from the shape to the cut. Now let's get tricky. Let's throw a couple shapes in here. For example, we got a circle. And to keep me sane, I'm gonna make it a different color. Now let's say we wanted to make a sticker that is just the star in the center. Oh boy. It looks like the offset became its own shape. So let's just group these two together. Over here on the right, you can kind of see I'm starting to make layers. If you shift click, you can select 2 layers at once. And we're going to go ahead and center them. Alright, so now that they're centered, I should be able to group them together. And now when I move one, I move the other. Perfect. We're going to do the same thing with the circle and this group here that we just made. Center horizontally, center vertically. Perfect. Now, there's something that you can do here in the Cricut design space that I think is quite interesting, is we can punch out the star shape in this circle. And how you do that is, well, I can't do it with a group, so I'm actually going to get rid of that outline there. Let's see here. We're going to ungroup them. Okay. We're going to take this star and we're going to take this circle. By selecting both of them, I turned on sticky keys. Oops. By selecting both of them, you've got a couple of options down here under the layers menu. You can slice, which I'll show you what that does in a minute. You can weld, which it does what it sounds like it does. It combines the 2 shapes into one shape. Flatten, which just turns them both into one design, one layer. Don't want to do that. So let's see if we can undo. There we go. And then we got attach, which, let's see here. I'm not really sure what that does myself. That might be an application more specific to other types of materials. So we're going to go ahead and select these, and we're going to slice them. And after you slice something, you get a bunch of new layers that are kind of your slice results. So if we were to turn that invisible and turn that invisible, behold, our new shape is a circle with a star in it. This is how you can kind of use the shapes in a way that is creative and creates new and interesting designs that you don't have to pay for, is by slicing and then taking those slice results and combining them with other shapes. Other tools in here, you've got your duplicate, which is make another one of. You got your delete, all pretty standard stuff. One more thing that I think it's interesting is you can add text. I will say that making text stickers is incredibly difficult, as when you go to peel the vinyl off of the sticker paper, you have to peel it letter by letter, and unless you have like an X-Acto knife and a lot of time, that becomes a pain in the neck. So generally, I try to use text that is connecting. I think it's called stencil text. Let's look. Yep, here we go. Now this all costs money. I'm not sure where. There it is. There's mine. And what I like to do is, this is very large. What I like to do with stencil text is, instead of just printing the text out, I'll create a shape for the text to go into. Ooh. Actually, you see how when I resize it, it resizes both the X and Y? You can change that by clicking this little lock here. Now it'll let me make it whatever size I want. So we're going to put this in here. Let's see, can I make it a different color? Can't see it because I'm putting it behind it. So we're going to move this down in the stack. There we go. Now we can see it. So I'm going to select both of these, and then I'm going to slice. And again, what that does is once you get rid of some of the slice results, behold, I feel this is a much better way of making letters and words as a sticker on your Cricut machine. So there's that. Now, what if we already have a design on hand? Well, what we can do then is we can use this upload function. And since I already uploaded something, I'm just going to go ahead and click it here. But to look for your design, you would have to find the file on your computer. So if you just downloaded it, you would click Upload Image, and then it would open the File Explorer, and then you would just go through your Downloads folder. But since I've already done that, I'm going to click on my design right here, and I'm going to add the canvas. And we have a very nice work design ready to cut. So I'm actually going to use this design as my example. I'm going to hop off the screen capture here and whip out my actual camera so I can show you how to prepare the Cricut machine for cutting. Just one sec. All right, welcome back. Where we left off, we had our design prepared in the Cricut design space. And over here, we have our Cricut. And what we want to start by doing is just hit the power button real quick. It's going to do some quick calibration as it gets its bearings. And while it's doing that, what we can do now is we can go to Make It, the green button in the upper right hand corner. And by clicking that, it'll tell us some different ways that you can load this design onto the Cricut machine. We're going to do on mat, and our mat is 12 by 12. So go ahead and click continue. And you see that Cricut kind of intelligently places the different parts of the design. It realizes that this is two different parts of the same design, and it would be kind of silly to put this part down here because that's another half that you can use for a different design. Over here, we're going to go ahead and confirm our options that we just set. Everything looks fine the way it is. So now we're going to go ahead and hit continue. And it's going to go through a three-step process. First step is setting the base material, which we told it was vinyl. Yep, there it goes. Now it's asking for us to load the material. And this is going to be incredibly difficult to do single-handed. Really should have got a tripod for this, but what you kind of want to do is you want to take your mat and your vinyl and kind of line them up the best you can, and you want to kind of put it underneath these rubber rollers here. Now you don't have to push it underneath there, because what's going to happen now is we're going to press this blinking insert button. What that will do is hopefully, there it goes. It will kind of pull the vinyl into the Cricut machine. So now that we have the tool and material loaded, it's ready for step 3. I don't recommend doing fast mode unless you have an incredibly simple design. I wouldn't consider what we have here simple. So we're going to leave fast mode off. And our next instruction is to push the flashing go button. And sure enough, we look over to our machine and it is on flashing. So we're going to go ahead and hit that button now, and it should just start cutting. Uh-oh. Looks like the vinyl came loose. Temporary difficulties. Hold on. Alright, note to self, do not try to load vinyl single-handed. It will not work out for you. Alright, so now we see it's in there, and it's making very precise cuts to the vinyl. It's going to go like this for a bit, and you can kind of check on the progress of the cut in the Cricut Design Space software. If it runs into any issues, this is the software will let you know that it's encountered an error. But looks like everything's going swimmingly over here. Alright. Now it's telling us to unload our vinyl. And it's kind of difficult to see, but you can see where it made its cuts, where the design is. And now we would just need to cut this sheet in half with a pair of scissors and use an X-Acto knife to carve out the eye holes and get that design ready to be a sticker. All right, so we are back on the screen share here, and I just wanted to wrap up real quick. Thank you all for joining us. This has been 2D Design with the Cricut machine. a short exploration of the Cricut Design workspace, and some hands-on of how to use the Cricut machine. As you can see, it's very simple, assuming you're doing it correctly and not single-handed like I did. If you missed this week's workshop, that's not a big deal. Obviously, this video is going to be available into Perpetuum, but if you would like more opportunities to attend a Makerspace workshop in person, we have Drone Flight Academy next week, where we will very shortly go over some of the rules for flying a drone recreationally. And on the 27th, again, we're going to be hanging out in the Multimedia Lab as I show you how to use Amplify, the Launchpad, and maybe a little bit of editing using Audacity. All of these workshops are at 5 p.m. every Wednesday of July. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out by emailing me at anthony@oakhillcollaborative.org, or you can just call me on the office number at 330-406-0731. This has been week 2 of Makerspace month. Thank you all for joining me, and you guys have a wonderful Wednesday.